everybody, my name's Cheri. Welcome to my stamp studio. Today I'm going to be showing you the second card that went with this one. So yesterday I did this one, and then I told you the next video I would do would be the second one of this, but then I forgot that I had the little foray into St. Patrick's Day, and I didn't have a choice because if I waited then St. Patrick's Day would be over. So there was that little, I did 2 videos in a day, which I don't normally do, or posted 2 videos in a day. So this is up. If you missed this one, you can go back and watch this. It's super fun. It's another horribly gray day in Indiana. It's not icing anymore. I think it's a little bit warmer. I haven't checked the weather, but it's so gray outside I know that sometimes the lighting isn't the best. I have good studio lights, but I need a little bit of, it's like filming at nighttime, even though it's not nighttime. But this is the Brushed Blooms bundle, and yesterday I used this die that is so much fun. It's very unique. So I used this, and it comes in the Brushed Blooms bundle. The Brushed Blooms bundle is part of my online retreat, and registration for that is ongoing. It takes place in April, although the videos just post over a weekend, and then you have up to a year to do them. So there's several different ways that you can participate. This is one of the bundles that we'll be featuring. It's going to be a really fun retreat. It's technique based, so not normal techniques. We're going to be doing like some floating museum window display things. We're going to be doing some watercolor resist. No basic Stampin' color in. None of the stuff will be that. And it's partly because of the bundles I've picked. So you can go on my website, and I'll have the little information wherever you're watching this that you can click and find out more about it. And then I'm also on this card, I used the Butterfly Bijou paper, but I didn't use the stamps. So the registration for my Butterfly Bouquet collection class ends on the 20th. I'm not sure what day that is. I don't know. At the end of towards the end of this week, if St. Patrick's Day is tomorrow. This card uses just the Butterfly Bijou paper. So in the upcoming catalog, you'll be able to get the stamps and the dies, but you won't be able to get this paper. But I realize a lot of you already have butterfly things, so I've been trying to show you some ways to use the paper. And not have to buy the stamps. So that's kind of how this card was designed, and we cut out the paper. So we're going to do the same thing today. And I wanted to remind you that you can sign up for that class. Then if you're watching this video the day it posted, hardly ever, and it's the first time in 3 years, Stampin' Up's doing free shipping tomorrow on St. Patrick's Day. So it's a great time to get this stuff if you want. Any of the stuff that I'm using, because you'll get free shipping, and then I have some extra added goodies as well, and you can go to my website to find out what those are. So this card's already posted, and this does use the Brushed Blooms. It doesn't use any of the butterfly stuff. It's just showing you how fabulous the stamps and the dies are in this set, and you can go watch that video. So for the card today, we're going to use a lot more of the stamps. Yesterday we only used the one die. So, and we're going to use this piece of paper that comes in the Butterfly Bijou paper. So many names, and it's still kind of early. So when you buy the butterfly collection, or the butterfly, the stamps and dies, it does come with this giant die, and this is how the stamps are. So it cuts out the stamps, and it does cut out this one piece of paper. So if you opt not to get the stamps, we all have a pair of scissors, right? So you can cut the butterflies out, because these are fun butterflies. And if you take the class, we're going to be using the butterflies a lot. And you can see I have lots of the butterflies. Every time I run them through, I've just been keeping them in here, because then you have all this here, and you can see they're just here, and you can always have them ready. So I'm going to run these through. But if you don't have them, just pretend that you've used scissors, and that would be the first step. So if you have the die, then you're going to cut them out. If you don't, you're going to cut out all these, the full butterflies, because that's what this does. See, it's cutting out the full ones. All these half ones are going to get left, because this is a little paper saving technique that we're going to do. Because again, this paper, just like yesterday's card, is so very pretty, and it's limited edition. Once it's gone, it's gone. It won't be in the new catalog, so you get it now or you get it never. Run this through, and then it's going to give me some more butterflies that I'm not going to use on this card. But if you watched yesterday's video, that's where I got the little butterfly that I just stuck on the nose of my bunny. I didn't have to do anything. It was just there in my little tray of butterflies. Bijou is French for trinkets. So see, now I have all these. And that's actually, it's not, I'm sorry, my cat's over there. I'm not going to use any of these. So I'm going to put them over there. They will show up on another card later, so be watching for that. But then we're left with this. And this is my favorite piece of paper. Second favorite piece in the whole 6x6 little paper stack that comes with this. So I hate to throw this out, and you really hate to ever use the full sheet, right? Because it's got the butterflies on the other side, which you really don't want to cut those up because you wouldn't be able to use all these. But I couldn't bear to throw this in the trash because this literally is my favorite sheet of paper. As you can see by my shirt, I'm really into the tie-dye right now. So I went over and I found dies that I thought could fit, which worked out perfect because then it gave me a reason to show you this stamp bundle again because it's so much fun. So there's 2 roses that it will do. So I'm just going to lay this on wherever they will fit. The bigger rose did not fit. So we're only going to use the small one. And let's see, this is green. So let's try to get, this is the leaf. Now sometimes I'm going to let them hang off the edge because it doesn't really matter. If that little stick doesn't get on there, it's not going to bother me. So let's put this there. Let's put that there. And we're going to be able to get 2 passes of things through here. You just want to make sure that they stay on the plate. And you remember when you do dies that it's the inside. If the edge is off the paper, that's okay. Because it's the inside that it's cutting. The outside is just the edge of the cutting surface. So let's get these. This is not a 10-minute card. Maybe. It's not much more than 10 minutes, especially after you've done it the first time. So now we literally have 1 whole flower. So we've got, whoops, those just went everywhere. Got a leaf. I want to make sure that I get them all off. A leaf, a flower, the top of the flower. I did lose my leaf then when I scattered them off. I don't know where it went. Oh, there it is. So there's everything. Now we have all this paper still, which looks like scrap, but it's just too beautiful to call a scrap. So let's see if we can get most of that. And again, I'm not worried if it cuts off a little bit, and I'll show you why when we make the card. So we'll put that there. You want to start with your, obviously your biggest pieces first, because they take up the most space. Let's do that one there. And then let's see if we can get, and if you cut this apart, it would be a little bit easier, but you know, I'm trying to do it fast for you. This time I'm just going to go for 2 leaves. So just get that on there so you have 2. And then over here, in fact, you could get several more leaves out of this if you work with it, but 2's plenty for our design. So we have all 3 flowers, and see, there's plenty. I would be able to get another whole flower, I think, and another whole leaf out of this if I want, but 2 is all I need for my card. We're going for light and spring and trendy. This tie-dye is so in right now, and especially this kind of the Miami Vice look of the pastel colors is really in, and it feels nice and springish. So make sure we get them all back. We have that one and that one. That's the one that's kind of a half. That, and that one. I'll move this out of the way. And then we just have a white card base. We are going to use the stamps on this one. We only used the happy birthday yesterday on the first card, but today we're going to use the stamps that come in the set. So I have Blushing Bride. Again, we're going to go for that Miami Vice tie-dye look. Bone folder. Also, the new catalog. I'm going to be ordering my new catalogs in just a couple days, the end of the month. So if you have placed an order with me since January, you will be getting one. It depends on how much you've ordered from me, the way I'm going to ship them. So you'll want to be on my email list or go over to my website to check out to make sure. If you do my online retreat, those gals are going to get them first because I'm going to ship them with the retreat. So this is Blushing Bride. And I'm going to do it 3 times full strength. This is a fun little like brush stroke. This set's called Brushed Blooms. So I did it full strength, and now I'm going to let the ink go off. And it just gets a little bit lighter every time. And that last time I'm just going to blow on it a little bit of hot air so it gets that really light tone up there. So that's our Blushing Bride. I've made this card. This is the 3rd time now because I did it on our Facebook Live event earlier this past weekend. Every time it looks a little bit different because of where you get your flowers. So some of my times I haven't quite hit as much of the Blushing Bride in the paper. This is So Saffron, and this rose is, there's 2 roses that come in the set. I'm pretty sure this is the smaller one. And again, I'm going to do the same thing where I'm going to do the darker down towards the bottom and kind of work my way up. Kind of twist them a little bit so they get lighter as they go. I think I'll do one more kind of over here. And then I have Pretty Peacock, which is an outgoing in color. So free shipping day is a great day to stock up on all of those in colors that we'll be retiring next week. And that's the stuff that usually sells out pretty quickly because everybody gets, if you need a refill, if you need some more card stock, if you need any of the ribbon, anything that's an outgoing in color will be gone fairly quickly. So there, that's a pretty card just on its own, yeah. Now we're going to add the really fun stuff to it. So I have some white tulle ribbon. This is a good card if you don't like to tie a bow. So just get a little piece of it. I'm always nervous every year, and it's been a couple of years now that this has been in the catalog that they're going to retire this ribbon. It's one of my favorites. So just kind of make like a little boutonniere. And I'm going to take my adhesive and put it right here. But free shipping day is a great day to get what you love and not wait for it to be on the retired list and to be gone. Now we're going to take these flowers. I know some of them are still stuck in their dies. Okay, now this one is one of the leaves where I only have 2. So I'm just going to snip that one off. Here's the one where I didn't quite get the whole bottom, but it's not going to matter. So this one has 3, so that one goes with my 3. Having a hard time picking stuff up this morning. Here is a whole flower. These stuck in here the second time because I didn't poke all of the things out the first. So you poke it out the first or you poke it out the second. So there's this one. Get my other leaf. Okay. So we'll start. I'm going to put this on the back. See, there's those butterflies that we didn't need because they weren't whole ones. And here's the one that's cut up. So I'm going to stick it here. And then I'm going to just put some adhesive on here. And then I'm going to take part of this and just kind of cover up that part that didn't get. There's no right way or wrong way. These are like cottage roses. So however they go together, every time they can just be a little different. You would never know that that piece is missing. You're really going to not know once I stick this piece on here and kind of cover that up. So let's go like that. Stick that on there. In fact, both of them could be cut up and you could just overlap them. So that's why you can keep getting more and more out of that little piece of paper. And all of your roses are going to look a little bit different because of the fact that the paper was tie-dye. So on the first card that I made with this set, I made my own tie-dye, which allowed the roses to all look a little different. This time we just used those scrap bits of beautiful paper that I couldn't bear to throw out. Now this time it's a little bit easier, I think, because these leaves are pretty delicate, to put the top on first, and then we'll glue them on. So it just needs a little bit of adhesive to hold them together. And they don't have to be straight, just like the roses didn't need to be straight. Take a little bit more adhesive now that I know where these are going to go. See, this is perfect if you don't like to tie bows, because there's no bow tying and it still adds that little hint of ribbon that's really pretty. And I'm going to stick this one together and then I'll cut off whatever part doesn't need to be on here. And sometimes it looks okay, depending on how they go. See, that's going to hit up into the ribbon, so nobody's not in it. There's adhesive already right there. Stick that under there a little bit. So super simple. Get a little bit stuck down. And then just for a tiny little embellishment, it's kind of pretty as it is. But you know, I like to put a little bit of bling, but I didn't want to go overboard. So I pulled out, it's getting to that time of year where, except for classes, my embellishments are starting to get sparser and sparser because you never know what's going to carry over. These are the opal rounds, and they're part of the Sand and Sea Suite that's in the mini, because they kind of look like shells, but on our card, they're just going to look like an opal. So isn't this pretty? So simple, and it used up, here, we have used up as much as we can of our paper. And again, when I'm done, I will send those through and I'll fill up my little tray with some more because I hate to throw this out. And because I send so many thank you cards to my customers and to my demonstrators and just cards in general, you know, just because card, those are perfect. So I can just reach into my bucket and grab these and then whip these cards out in no time. I mean, this, once you've done all the die cutting and you have a little stack of stuff, these cards, you can whip them together in no time flat. Now here's the other ones that I've made. Did not use a bone folder. Look at the difference a bone folder makes. If you don't have one yet, free shipping day is a great day to get tools like that. So the flowers just look a little bit different every time, depending on where you laid them on the paper, but all beautiful. So there you go. Make sure to check out my website so you see the additional specials that I'm offering. Don't forget about online retreat signups and that the butterfly class does end. And there's several different options for both of them. So you can get full kits, you can just get videos, you can just get one stamp set in the online retreat. With the butterfly class, you can just get just the paper if you already have butterfly stuff. And you can see the way I'm showing you that there's different ways that you can use it and you can make it work with what you have. Everybody have a great day. Hope it's sunny where you are, and I will see you back here tomorrow. Bye.